Well. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Speaking of Zane, February 13th edition, actually the 14th edition, because we moved it from last night because I did not want to steal any of the ratings from NBC and their broadcast of the Super Bowl. Isn't that nice of me? But glad to have everybody in here tonight. I know we'd have been starting about 8:30 last night. We'd have been starting well into the second half, so I didn't want to disrupt that. But good to have everybody here. It's the 180th edition of Speaking of Zane. That roughly translates to 180 weeks we've been at this. What is that? That's over 3 years, isn't it? Who's the mathematician in the house? But still going strong, still learning along the way, and still using this as some outstanding therapy. No doubt about it. Let's see who we've got. I know Lori is in there because she is watching on YouTube, on the YouTube channel. And she told me that she's here. Daryl's in there. Hello, Daryl. My buddy Steve is in there. My old Commander Colin Krim is in there. Good afternoon, sir. Good evening. My cousin Toby is in there. I know we may have a small turnout tonight since we normally do it on Sunday night. So we'll see who is able to join along the way. And there's always the recording. People can watch the replay on my Facebook page, on the Speaking of Zane Facebook group, or on the YouTube channel. So if you ever have to miss the show, you can always watch the recording so you don't miss anything. There's Katie Aaron. Hey, Katie, up in Michigan. Hope y'all are well. Good to have you in there. Matt's working late. Okay. All right. Well, what the heck is going on here? So Lori's mom's visit is getting pushed out again. She should have been here yesterday. And unfortunately, she is sick and I'm told contagious. So she got together with Lori and they decided that they were just going to push it out until April. So Lori's mom won't be visiting us till into April, which is fine. And what else is going on? So our little baby granddaughter Carson, who's our son Jackson's daughter, she's 2. She has been staying with us the last couple of nights because her parents went to a Super Bowl party. So Carson stayed here. See what grandparents are good for? How about that? So Carson stayed here last night, and Lori took her to daycare today, and she's back again. She's staying the night, a second night, so it's been fun to see her for a little bit. Let's see. What else is going on? I was kind of waiting for my Aunt Cindy to pop in here, but if I see her join, I can wish her again. But my Aunt Cindy, who is on my mom's side. She's actually my mom's aunt. So get this, my mom is 70, what, Lori? 77 or 8. And her aunt, Cindy, is 80. Yep. So Aunt Cindy, happy birthday to you. 80 years young and still going strong. Good genes on that side of the family. And also a day after Aunt Cindy's birthday is my Aunt Linda's birthday, Aunt Linda Pittman. So they are both married to brothers. They're married to Pittman brothers. And so they married into the Pittman family and spent a decent amount of time with all of them as a kid when we lived in Alabama. But our relationship is rekindled thanks to Facebook. How about that? And my Aunt Paula too, and just amazing what a communication channel can do. But happy birthday, Aunt Cindy and Aunt Linda, both over in Alabama. What else is going on? Let's see. Weight. I'm a little bit stalled on my weight loss. I'm sitting at 23 pounds. 23 pounds in right at a month, I guess. Right at 4 weeks. So 23 pounds. Not too shabby considering I haven't walked or run or done anything physical. The only physical thing I've done is keep those donuts out of my face. And I tell you what, there's something to be said for the molecular structure of the human body because um, it's incredible how um, just altering your sugar and carb intake makes a huge difference. But so I'm looking forward to shedding many more pounds. Our team at work, we got a little 5-man team. We're currently in 6th place. So we've dropped from 3rd to 6th in a week. So there's some folks doing a little bit better than us as a team. And I think there's 136 teams. We're currently in 6th place. So really cool. All right, well, let's see. Let me take a quick look at the chat as I always do because you guys are very chatty and I love to field the comments and questions. Steve says, Katie, can you please tell Matt I had a nice chat with Jason? Well, how about that? See, there's another good thing that, speaking of Zane, has fostered, and I couldn't be more pleased about that. Steve is an Air Force buddy of mine, and Katie and Matt was an Air Force or Army buddy of Zane's, and through speaking of Zane, they've become connected. And Matt has a friend in the Army that was stricken with GBS, I think it's called, right, Steve? And once we found that out, I said, wait a minute, my friend Steve had that and has almost made a complete 100% recovery. And Steve offered, hey, listen, if you ever want me to talk with him, I'm happy to. And I am so glad that happened, Steve. Thank you so much for doing that. And I hope it was a very productive conversation. And I'm sure Jason appreciated talking to somebody that has dealt with this before. So outstanding. Let's see. Daryl says he got to thank a Marine vet and a Navy vet at the Waffle House today. Okay, well, you're getting a little bit ahead of me there, young man. I call him young man. He's the age of my father. Daryl is, but I love him anyway. Let me add, while I'm thinking about it, Daryl, I'm going to add 2 more for you. If I don't do this right away, I'll have a tendency to forget. So I'm going to add that up. I'm going to increment my count there so I don't forget. Okay, thank you, Daryl, for letting us know that. More about that in a minute. Let's see. Okay, my dad is correcting me here. Now, my dad is my elder. My dad is my mentor. My dad is my role model, so he cannot be wrong. Let's see what he's saying. He says, no, Cindy and Steve are brothers. That's right. That is so right. Cindy is a Knighton, Cindy Pittman Knighton. So Cindy married Bill Knighton, who she unfortunately lost a couple years ago. So Cindy is a Knighton and was a Pittman. Cindy was a Pittman. So Steve is her brother. Steve is married to Aunt Linda, who married into the Pittman family. I'm so glad my dad was there tonight. Thank you, Dad. I was thinking of Aunt Paula is what I was thinking of because Paula married Mike Pittman. And Paula joins us here regularly on Speaking of Zane. And Lori and I will get to see, hopefully, Aunt Paula again on our upcoming trip to Tampa here next week, I guess, late next week. So that'll be fun. Yeah, Steve and Cindy. Yeah, you got it right, Dad. I knew what you meant. They're not brothers, but they're siblings. Yeah. And we knew what you meant. At least I knew what you meant. All right. Let's see. Katie says Matt had a great conversation with him as well last week. He's doing so good and so happy. That's so good. I'm so glad to hear that. Good stuff. It sounds like Steve's going to be on a regular cadence with him. They're planning to chat again. So Steve, thank you, my friend. Good stuff. All right. Well, let's see what else we got here while you guys are posting in the chat. There's some birthdays I shouted out. Let's see. When was it, Daryl? Just a day or two ago, Daryl and his wife Wanda, who rests at Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery, would have celebrated their 57th anniversary, and they were together many more years than that, I think, right, Daryl? As they were somewhat of childhood sweethearts. But so I know that was a tough time. Daryl went out to visit his betrothed Wanda yesterday for their anniversary, and then he felt like she beckoned him back to the cemetery today for Valentine's Day. So he got a couple of visits in this week. So, and Daryl, I tell you what, I appreciate you sharing those things with us. I know that you're setting an example. You're setting an example for some, and thank you for that. All right. Well, let's see. I know that we're missing Ken tonight. Ken's up and traveled up to North Carolina, him and his wife, for some family, and he wasn't sure he was going to be here tonight, but he always is interested in my hat of the week. And my hat of the week usually has something to do with what's going on in my life or our life or at work or at play. But you know what? I got down to it this afternoon and couldn't think of anything to tie the hat of the week directly to. So I just defaulted to, oh, Ken's here with us? Okay. I defaulted to the Strategic Air Command hat, my newest, flashiest veterans hat. This is the one I love to walk around in the Kroger with because it's just so bold and in your face. I'm a SAC trained killer. And I love it. I know Daryl has one like it since, but so I just decided to throw this hat on this evening and represent. So that is the hat of the week. All right, well, let's move on. I did not pull any this week in military history items, but kind of a coincidence. Last week we talked about the that hydrogen bomb that was released off the coast of Tybee Island, Georgia, that has never been found. And I have a friend at work who sends out a weekly newsletter, and part of his newsletter he includes these fun facts or tidbits, and he, unbeknownst to my reference, he posted that, shared that today, and we had a nice chat about it this morning. So very cool. Good friend of mine, his name is Jerry, and he works at a partner of ours. He works at NetApp, and he's dedicated to our company. So we've gotten to know each other pretty well over the last 10 years. And we hit it off right away when we first met. It's really interesting because he served in the Army. I served in the Air Force. At the time, he had a son serving in the Air Force, and I had one serving in the Army. So we hit it off. If you may remember me talking about him a couple of Januaries ago. His son was one of those injured in an attack of an airfield, air base in Africa, and he was a crew member on this small reconnaissance plane as a civilian contractor, and he's in the back of the plane operating some equipment and stuff. They were still on the runway, had not taken off for their mission, and the base was overrun, and the cockpit of the aircraft took a hit from an RPG and killed the pilots, and he was burned and was able to climb out of the aft hatch and was picked up by one of the personnel on the base there, and fortunate to be alive. But that's my son Jerry, the one I mentioned. That was his son that served in the Air Force. But anyway, it's a crazy world. Let's see. Okay, good one, Steve. Steve, I can always count on you guys throwing one in there. Well, Steve, let me come back to that. Aunt Cindy, hello. Hello. We just talked about you, and I'm so glad you're here. Happy 80th birthday, young lady. And you are looking great and fully in charge. And so glad that you've joined us. And I know that Aunt Linda had a birthday. I think it's the day after yours, and she's a few years younger than you. But happy birthday, and thank you so much for always joining us when you can, and good to have you here. All right, let's see. Um, Steve, first flight of Operation Homecoming began yesterday or today. You're absolutely right. And what he's talking about is Operation Homecoming was the release of the POWs in Vietnam from the Hanoi Hilton and other facilities. And Steve, coincidentally, the last visit I made to the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force up in Dayton, Ohio, I had a chance to go on board the C-141 dubbed Hanoi Express. And wow, you just feel, I mean, I got goosebumps anyway, just walking on that plane and just you feel history all around you. So good call out, my friend. Operation Homecoming. All right. Let's see. Yeah, anybody feel free to pipe in on any military history items and awesome stuff. Hello, Rhonda Medlin. Rhonda's in there. Good to have you. Rhonda's a coworker of mine. Rhonda's a friend of mine. Rhonda and I go back to when we very first met in 1999. When I first went to work at Cisco, Rhonda was there already for a little bit, and so we got to meet each other. Didn't work all that much together, but we've stayed in touch over the years. And then she eventually came to work many years later, came to work for the company I work for. Now she's moved on to work for one of our partners. But yes, we are old, Rhonda. I look old, you don't. You look the same as when I first met you in 1999. My goodness. But Rhonda is a patriot. Her family's a patriot. Her husband is a long-time law enforcement officer here in the Atlanta Metro, and you can imagine that has kept Rhonda awake many a night. He also happens to be a veteran of the North Carolina Air National Guard, and I enjoy it every time I get a chance to chat with him. They've come out with us to the cemetery a few times, and appreciate Rhonda. Cindy's internet dropped. Well, Aunt Cindy, I was wishing you a happy 80th birthday. That's what I was doing. Happy birthday. And you are looking phenomenal for the age of 80. And I'm so glad that you join us here whenever you're able to. And Lori and I hope to stop in and see you sometime on a trip to Florida, or maybe just run over to Montgomery. But good to have you in here. Happy birthday. I know that Aunt Linda had a birthday like the day after yours, I think, or a couple days after anyway. She's a few years younger than you. But happy birthday, Aunt Cindy. Good stuff. Let's see. Oh, Rhonda says he's retiring this year. Oh man, that's outstanding. I tell you what, when you're a law enforcement officer, that's got to feel like kind of like a countdown, I'm sure, because every day you're on borrowed time and you have so many people out there that you just, the risk is so, it's just, I can't imagine being a law enforcement officer. But Craig he certainly has served his time, and that'll be great, Rhonda. Let us know if you have a secret retirement celebration or anything. I would love to be there. And Rhonda's asking about Memorial Day. Yeah, we will be placing flags at the headstones for Memorial Day. I have not seen any announcement on the Georgia National Cemetery website yet, but I'll stay abreast of that and let you know what the plans are. For sure. Now, remember, Lori orchestrated Operation Freedom Flag a couple of years ago when they said we couldn't do it. Lori did it, and we placed almost 4,000 flags. And then last year there was it was open to flag placement. It was a little more regimented, but at least it was sanctioned. And Lori and I were fully prepared to go to jail if that's what it took. And I tell you, we had a lot of patriots helping us from the neighborhood and whatnot. But yeah, it was awesome. So Rhonda, I'll keep everybody up to date on the Facebook group of what the plans are. But we'd love to have you all come out and help again. All right, let's see. Katie says, when Matt was making the decision to get off active duty, he seriously contemplated Detroit SWAT. That scared me. Oh yeah, anything in Detroit would scare me, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right. Well, let's see. What do we have? Speaking of Georgia National Cemetery and wreath laying and flag placement, next segment is our Veteran Cemetery Challenge. And this is where we just chronicle. If anybody in the group happens to make a visit to a veteran cemetery, we capture it and celebrate it. And we had a few of those this week. Daryl, I mentioned Daryl was out there twice this week, at least twice that I know of, to Jefferson Barracks. Just one of my most beautiful veteran cemeteries. I love every time I visit there. It's just an amazing place. And last time I was there, Daryl and I, before Christmas, we got to visit the Jefferson Barracks Civil War Museum, which was phenomenal. Let's see, Jim Miller. Did I get Jim last week for the visit he made? Yes, this was left from last week. Jim, or no, wait a minute. No, that's this week. Jim. So Jim Miller is often our visitor to Omaha National Cemetery because he drives by there on his regular routine. And so he'd normally, I don't know if you're with us tonight here, Jim, or not, but if you are, hello. But Jim stops by there, and that's why I had his name on here. But he made another visit for us because I asked last week about Deborah, his wife, and I told you about him losing his wife the week after Zane passed, and that's why I remember it. And Jim paid a visit and posted some pictures of St. John's Cemetery. It's in South Omaha, and that's where his Deborah is buried. And so that was actually a new one that I had not plotted on our map that I will do. So Jim, thank you for doing that. Jim described where Deborah rests and the fact that there are a number of veterans around her on all sides. Just amazing. But that's another one. So Daryl, Jim got visits this week. So we're sitting at 569 visits. Can you believe that, Colonel Krim? 569 visits this small group of people have made over the last few years to a veteran cemetery. And those visits have been spread across about 151 different locations. And I need to update our map. I've got a nice Google map that plots them all. I need to add a couple of them to the map for it to be current. But I enjoy that so much. Every time I get so excited when I get to visit a new one because you can always count on certain things being the same, which is good. We need predictability. We need commonality. We need, veteran cemeteries to have certain things in common, and you can almost always find a lot of things that they have in common. But then they are also so different. They take on the local flavor of where they're located, the geography, the topology. Sarasota, Florida is so different from the location that Steve has visited up in Minnesota. They couldn't be any different. It's such an amazing thing. I wish I could visit everyone in the country. It's just, it's crazy, I know, but it's been so fun. All right, so thank you guys for playing along there. Think of Vet Challenge. We have a few that I'm aware of over the last week. Daryl just added two to the list, but Daryl met a Marine Corps Vietnam vet earlier in the week and chronicled that on the page. He also met a fellow Air Force, speaking of SAC, he met a fellow Air Force SAC veteran as well. Let me read the account to you because it's worth reading. You guys do such a good job of describing many of these interactions. Let me see if I can find what Daryl had to say. Here we go. In fact, why don't I just share it and you can read right along. Right there. Let's see. Daryl says, if you can read it, he says, I shared a thank you and a fist bump with a Vietnam vet in passing at the grocery store the other day. On the same day, I was at the computer store and had a lengthy and great conversation with Dave Ponder. He was wearing a hat with the SAC crest and embroidered with the 508th AE Squadron. Turner Air Force Base, Georgia. Dad, do you remember where Turner Air Force Base was located? Down there near you. I think, Columbus, Albany, somewhere down in there. Turner Air Force Base, Georgia. Definitely had to say hello to and thank a fellow SAC brother. Dave served from 1954 to 1958 and was a radar technician. This was back in the early days when SAC operated fighter aircraft, and Dave said he worked mainly on F-84s. Obviously, Dave was older than I, but I really enjoyed spending a little time with him and our conversation. We parted company with several fist bumps and wishes for a good day. How about that for a nice interaction? I love it. Thank you, Daryl, for sharing that. I know it had to feel good for sure. I'm sure it felt good for him too. He's a fellow SAC warrior. Good stuff. So that's 2 for Daryl, and then the 2 that Daryl met at the Waffle House, the Marine and the Navy vet. So 4 for Daryl. Lori said thank you to an Air Force vet. Where was Lori at? Lori, where was she at? Oh, doggone it, Lori. Now she's on YouTube. I don't know if she can post or not, but she met an Air Force vet somewhere out and about, and she told me, but I just can't remember. She coordinated and executed on a baby shower celebration on Saturday. I think it was Saturday, Lori. And it was awesome. The picture she showed me. She should do it for a living because she's got the knack. But I think when she was out and about getting things for that is when she ran into the Air Force vet. And then I had a couple of exchanges this past week myself. Army vet at the store. And then I had just a phenomenal conversation with a young man who's interested in being part of the program at work that I lead. He's a young man, a reservist, an Army reservist, recent college grad, Army reservist, in the what he called the extended OCS, Officer Candidate School course. So he's an enlisted guy at the moment. He'll complete this Officer Candidate School course and will be commissioned. I think he said about next year, about this time. And so since he's reservist, he's able to have a full-time job and everything. So somebody referred him to me, and I had an awesome conversation with this young man, very respectful, and look forward to putting him through the paces and maybe including him in my program. We'll see how things go, but just an awesome young man. All right, so that if I total that up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 thank yous this week, and that gives us a total of 1,262. So 1,262 times somebody from this relatively small group of patriots has told another veteran or a service member or a law enforcement officer, thank you. How about that? I love it. Okay, well, let's see what else we got here. So running through the organizations again, some of these I still have highlighted because we talked about them a couple weeks ago, but some of you are doing this with us, the Running to Honor 5K that we've done for the last couple of years. We're going to do that again this year in July. And you can still be part of that. Let me know if you would like to be virtually. Lori and I have solidified our plans to visit my Warriors place. I just heard from Kelly yesterday. She was asking me if, hey, are you guys still coming? I got the cabin for you. The not cabin. It's a what does she call them, Lori? Cottage. It's a blue cottage. We prefer. We've stayed there every time. And so she's got us in the blue cottage. But anyway, we confirmed that yesterday. So Lori and I will be driving down there to Ruskin, just south of Tampa. Let's see, not this Friday, not this Thursday, but the following Thursday, whatever that is, 24th or so, we'll be going down. and be there for the whole week. We'll be there over the weekend for the whole next week, and I will work from down there, and then we will come back on. I think it's like Sunday, March 6th, something like that. But I'm excited to get back down there. I know Lori is too, and we're doing a work day out there. A bunch of folks from my work we're going to get together and go back out there again and do whatever Kelly needs help with at my Warriors place. So look forward to that. All right, well, let's see. Heroes Lost or Wounded segment. I know there's something I'm missing, and I know there was I saw something, I just can't remember what it was, but I did capture that there was a car wreck in Okinawa a couple of days ago that killed 2 young Marines, unfortunately. Corporal Victor Varela Martinez, 22 years old. Lance Corporal Bailey Spencer Hoover, 20 years old. They were both assigned to the Marine Corps Expeditionary Force there in Okinawa. Unfortunate. All right. Well, I usually this is the section where I talk about Zane's Facebook page, which we feel is like a time capsule, and I would love to go back and look through it. Lori found a bunch of stuff, or Lori's mother found a bunch of stuff that we have been enjoying lately, but I didn't get a chance this week to comb through Zane's Facebook page, all of it. I kind of want it to last the rest of my life, I guess. I don't want to discover. I want to be here when I'm Aunt Cindy's age or older, still discovering things on Zane's Facebook page that bring a smile on my face. Facebook user, I'm watching. I wonder if that's Jimbo. Or if it could be Lori, but she's watching from YouTube. But hello, Facebook user, mysterious Facebook user, who I'm not sure who you are, but good to have you in there nonetheless. And just like it's good to have everybody in there, I never would have imagined if you'd asked me that people will pause. If you'd asked me 6 years ago if people would pause on a Sunday night or a Monday night and listen to this guy talk about Zane and other matters, I would have said nobody's interested in that. But you guys have proven me wrong there, and I cannot thank you enough. It's Aunt Paula. Hello, Aunt Paula. We were talking about you earlier. Lori and I are going to be heading down there on the 24th or so, and we'll be there the whole following week. And we look forward to seeing you again somewhere along the way. We'll be there a good bit this next time, and including a work day there at my Warriors place. We're going to be staying on the property again, but we look forward to seeing you. We were wishing Aunt Cindy a happy birthday. I know Aunt Cindy turned 80 years old this week. Isn't that phenomenal? Did we ever think people would live that long and be so vibrant, back when we were kids? I don't know if I did, but it's awesome to see, that's for sure. All right, folks. Well, goodness gracious, make it a great week. Monday night, an odd night for Speaking to Zane, but we have done it a few times on Monday night, and I'm glad you guys are flexible and accommodating. And we'll look forward to doing it again next week. We'll see what all you guys have to say about thanking a veteran or military history items or any upcoming activities or excellent organizations to share. I look forward to that every week, and I'm already looking forward to next Sunday night. So thank you guys once again, and make it a great week. We'll see you on Sunday. God bless.